Hey guys, it's me, FiveNightsAtJustins. So today I've come up with a new video idea, and it's gonna be a story I wrote called Zero Sprint. It's an audio book, so what you'll mostly be seeing is a cover that I made on Adobe Photoshop called Zero Sprint with one of the Zero PNGs made by Dizzy Dream. So, anyways, go if you're interested. Get some popcorn, get comfortable, and get ready to listen. Chapter 1. Introduction. It's only now that I decided to write this down with my telekinesis powers. So, I'm Zero, the experimental E1 tank engine. I live on the Limburton United Railway, or LUR for short. I have been nothing but a nuisance to everybody such as Damien, Carter, Trojan, Paul, Charles, you name it. Even my BFF not such break band, Samantha, who I created myself. Anyways, let's get into what happened today. Chapter 2. The Vinegar Accident. Today I was bored as usual, even though I can do anything like go to different universes, drink vinegar, annoy people, and fly anywhere I want. Then I decided to pull as many conflict wagons with vinegar on them as I could, then traveled down the line as fast as I could, but I didn't think it was fast enough. So I went 200 miles an hour down the line, but I didn't see the sharp curve ahead. But when I noticed it, it was too late. I slammed on my brakes as hard as I could. Sparks flew from my wheels, but the wagons were too heavy. Then I jerked to the right with a as the vinegar smashed on the ground hard, thus breaking the glass bottles in the process. Vinegar leaked everywhere, and the liquid began producing suds on the ground. I had sustained some damage to myself. My buffers were bent and scratches on my side tanks. I felt miserable. And to make matters worse, the line which I crashed on was blocked, so it would take a while for me to get upright and for engines to pass through. Hang on. Chapter 3. Goodbye, Limburton. A few hours later, I was sent to the works to be mended, and the head of the railway, Mr. Godor, gave me a stern talking to, and said if I can't keep my act up, he said he'll keep me in the shed for a month or two, but what he doesn't know is that I'm autistic. There are things that I can't control, and having these disadvantages made me sad. I felt a small tear slide down my cheek and burst on my buffer beam, and then my sadness turned to anger. Then I started to think of a plan. I was going to leave Limburton forever, so I gathered 2 remaining flatbeds or conflats of vinegar and 5 trucks that matched me with supplies, more vinegar, and some plushies of me to keep. And I thought of bringing Samantha my brake van. Well, as my brake van, but I found another one. And without anybody hearing me, I left on my sprint to the mainland to find it for a new home. Chapter 4. Disgraceful Memories. As I chuffed down the line, I thought back to when I had a similar accident with conflats. But this time I went off the rails down a small embankment through some bushes into the water. I had a bush in my mouth. My side rats were snapped and I looked ridiculous. Those thoughts only made me go faster. Into the darkness ahead of me. So I decided to go to the Limburton coal mine to fill up with coal. So I went to Limburton Station, up the ramp leading to the mine, where I filled up with coal and a water tanker to use for my journey. When I was full, I set off to look for a new railway. Chapter 5 Meeting Alan. While on the run, I came across Alan, a shunting engine from the London and East Railway. He told me that Mr. Godor sent him looking for me. Hearing that made me angry, so I lashed out at Alan, saying that Mr. Godor deserves to fail. After that, Alan told me to take a few deep breaths and wished me luck on my journey. Chapter 6 People Miss Me. I found a shed and a siding, and I decided to rest there for a while. There's also a television inside. Without a second thought, I turned it on, and there was a live news broadcast. The news reporter said, "Breaking news. Last night, engine known as Zero has left the Limberton United Railway without a trace. The only one who has seen him is a switch engine named Alan. Tune in next time for more news about this. This is Jim Harold signing off." I was shocked people actually cared for me. The engines missed me, and even Mr. Godel was sorry he had yelled at me. I have done some careful thinking, then I still have the goal of leaving. See you later. See you then. Chapter 7 Uphill. I went down along the line, and I saw a little hill with a curve and a long line leading somewhere. But when I tried to make it up, I kept slipping down the hill. So I backed up a bit and rushed up it and continued on, not knowing what would be up the line. I was traveling down the line when I noticed up ahead the points were faulty, so I slammed on my brakes harder than the last time. But the speed and way of the train made things especially difficult. Then I hit the points and tipped on my side. Then I was knocked out cold after a few minutes. Chapter 9 Nightmare. When I woke up, I was in a dark abyss, standing there in front of me with some rails. No sleepers, but when I turned on my light, there were some uncanny eyes staring at me. Then a creature came towards me. He looked exactly like me, but instead it was black and had red glowing eyes. Then it spoke in a groggy voice. "You're nothing but a pile of scrap metal." "No, I'm not," I snapped back. Then the creature began laughing maniacally. Then giant claws rose out of its mouth. I screamed in terror. I tried to reverse, but the creature used its claws to pin my skin and to pin my mouth and skin and teeth, and my teeth began bleeding from the force. Then it put a hole in my forehead. Soon I saw myself deformed, then faceless for a minute. A creepy face of myself came into view. Chapter 10 The Mine. I woke up with a start gasping for air. Eventually, my breathing began to steady. Then I looked around. It was a coal mine, and I was in a nice warm shed as the breeze blew against my tanks. And I breathed a sigh of relief and went back to sleep. Chapter 11 Coal Mine Engines. When I met the coal mine engines, whose names were Dusty, Tid, Zoe, Xavian, Thunder, Owen, Xavi, Misty, Dalid, Mike, Skylar, Chaotic, and Jonathan. That's a total of 13 engines. Chapter 12 New Home or Something Else. After meeting some new friends at the coal mine, I was showed around there. I was showed around the mine, and I went to work shunting trucks. They were absolute devils. One of them said, Oh, we want a proper engine, not a purple. We want a proper engine, not a purple abomination. This made me so furious that I shunted the truck so hard it tipped over on its side. Chapter 13. The Collapsed Mine. The next day, I was still in a foul mood, and it was my turn to pull a special train known as the coal train. It's where a conflat and 3 coal trucks are in front of us. Dusty told me to be careful, but I didn't listen. And in the mine, I pushed the truck so hard, one of the couplings broke and the trucks went down the hill, crashing and crashed, causing them to derail and the mine to collapse. Which would be a lot of money to repair. Chapter 14. Lost Patience. Today was the day I finally lost patience. So, I was doing some shunting, and one of the trucks in the line said, "Oh, look! The Gremlin has emerged from his collapsed cave!" And a big, ugly one, too. Then inside, I snapped. "Oh, what are you gonna do? You gonna whine?" Then all of them laughed out loud. Then I charged at it. "Shut up! Shut the up!" I yelled. Their wood creaked. "This ought to teach you, you piece of..." But before I got to finish my sentence, the truck snapped in half. Its remains shooting up in the air and landing on either side of me. As you could imagine, all the trucks and engines and even some workmen were stunned at what I had done. And I soon enough knew that I had damaged railway property. Later, Chapter 15. Talking to. Later in the sheds, the engines were talking to me, Dusty being the first. "Zero, are you alright? Ever since you got here, you have been acting strange," she said. "Well, maybe this place makes absolutely no sense," I replied back. Wait, no, that's not what I meant. What I mean is these trucks are rude, honestly. "Okay, we know how you feel," said Dusty, and we all went to sleep. Chapter 16. Reunited announced. Today, the manager announced there'd be a person coming to buy the engines. All of them were excited, including me, all up until I heard who was coming. Mr. Godor. I decided to hide in the shed without anybody noticing me. Chapter 17. Meetup. A few hours later, some people arrived to buy some of the engines. Nobody noticed me or wanted any engines. Then Mr. Godor arrived. Inside Carter, I stayed silent as I could. Chapter 17. Meetup. A few hours later, people arrived to buy some engines. Nobody noticed or wanted any engines. Then Mr. Godor came inside Carter. I stayed as silent as I could. Then he walked out and said, "Oh, these engines will be perfect for the Lumberton United Railway. Anyways, have you seen an engine called Zero?" Yes, said Dusty. Wait, where is he? I got so nervous I wheezed steam loudly. Then I knew my cover had been blown. So I raced backwards as fast as I could, and I ended up crashing a hole in the wall. When I was pulled out of the shed, it was something not good. My back buffer beam was bent out of shape, and my lamp was cracked. Mr. Godor came running up towards me. Zero. Why did you run away all the way here? He said. I scowled at him. It's because you yelled at me and told me that if I didn't get my act up, I'd be sent to another railway. So I decided to run away here while looking for another railway. Huh? Are you happy now? I replied. No, I'm not, Mr. Godor said. I was just upset and annoyed, but you should never think that I would make you want to run away. And he said tearfully, I think you owe Zero an apology, said Dusty. Okay, Dusty, I will. Zero, I'm sorry. I'm sorry for yelling at you, and can you ever forgive me? He said sadly. Yes, I can. I said, you can? Mr. Godor said hopefully. Yes, Mr. Godor, I can. And I'm coming home to you, I said. The place erupted in a chorus of whistles and cheers. Chapter 19, Homecoming. When I was loaded on a flatbed, all the engines were coupled behind each other on the way to Limberton for their new home. When we got back, we were greeted by every single engine on the railway. Soon, I was sent to the works again. I got rebuilt with a sturdier running board and a new set of back buffers and a fresh new coat of paint. I forgot to mention this whole thing happened 2 years ago, which was in 2023, and not much has happened. Anyways, this is the end of the story, and I'm glad to have written this novel for you all, and I hope you have enjoyed it. But as a bit of a bonus, I'm gonna say every single Limberton engine name, starting with me, Antics, Damien, Trojan, Charles, Hunter, Jammer, Joey, Paul, Alan, Misty, Jonathan, Xavier, Ninjin, Hugo, Kleiner, Skylar, Dusty, Thunder, Zoe, Xavier, Chaotic, Dylan, Jip, Evelyn, Tid, Mike, Jaden, Lincoln, John, and Geo. That's a total of 31 engines. Okay, guys, so that's the end of the story. Surely, yeah, that was like 20 parts. I mean, it took me a while to write this story, but I'm really glad I did. Anyways, also quick disclaimer. Those other names like Jaden, Lincoln, John, and Geo, they aren't actually in the real game. They're just, this is set in an alternate universe of Limberton where these characters actually exist. Which Jaden is my OC, Geo is my friend Geo's channel's OC, only if he wants an OC. John is someone else's random OC, and yeah, somewhat so on. Anyways, I hope you've yet again enjoyed this story, and I'll see you in the next video. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you later. Bye!